We are live.
We are live. Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm here, Brandon Aceto, with my good friend Humberto and the great Amy Dangerfield joining us for the first time.
Hi. Do you not count me as a good friend?
Oh, wow. Straight out the gate.
Not with Humberto in that category.
Well,
that went
I was about to say great friend, but you beat me to it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to know. I'm
This show's about friendship.
Definitely better than Humberto.
Sorry to derail the intro.
So, guys, tonight we're going to talk about this amazing series of events that we saw last night at Trump's Bronx rally. Shocked the world.
I'm seeing.
What are we seeing?
I don't know. Are you sure we're
Unlisted? Yeah, because it says 0. I did hit unlisted.
Oh, yeah. We have 3 people now.
Oh,
good.
Boom.
Hello.
All right.
This guy always derailing the show. So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
All right. You're worse than Adam.
I'm way worse than Adam. Just more brief.
All right, so we're going to talk about this amazing series of events last night that took place with Trump in the Bronx taking the world by storm. We're going to show some clips from AOC, which are hilarious. We're going to talk about Putin potentially doing a ceasefire or calling for a ceasefire in Ukraine. The military-industrial complex probably isn't too happy about that, so we'll speculate recklessly on the notions of what's going to happen there. And Amy is bringing an exciting topic to the table that I have not heard about yet. Can you tell us what that's going to be about? A little brief.
Yeah, sure. Very off topic from everything, all of the aforementioned there. But I told Brendan that I'm really fascinated by this male superiority index. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. If you have, definitely let us know in the chat. But this is something that was kind of speculated about by people like Andrew Tate, people who said that there was a matrix attack or a concerted attack against certain, ideologies that people would probably deem as male superiority ideologies.
Right.
But now there is actually proof of it. So that's what we're going to be discussing.
Well, speaking of proof on
And
attack of male ideologies.
my segment.
Oh, okay, Adam, what?
Okay. Stay till the end because I want to talk about Norwegian fermented fish.
Okay, so we have that to look forward to. Now, first, I'm going to play this clip of CNN being totally shocked and taken by surprise at the turnout of Trump's event. So, have you guys seen this clip yet?
Yes.
I
Amy,
have not, I don't think, no.
All right, so this is CNN expecting a bad turnout at Trump's rally, and Anderson Cooper looking totally shook.
What was the crowd like, and what kind of response did he get?
Well, certainly a bigger crowd than I think Democrats would like to see, particularly given this is one of the bluest counties in the entire country. Now, one of the things that was interesting to me is that the Trump campaign said that they were going to micro-target to get people from the community to come to this rally. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've gone to a lot of these rallies across the country, and there are often people who travel hundreds of miles to see Donald Trump, and they're not necessarily part of the community. However, one of the things that I found was that there were a lot of people here that were actually from the Bronx.
What was the crowd like?
So much fun.
So the funny thing about this is that AOC was in the news just blasting the whole situation before him, simultaneously saying that he's a thief and that he's out of money, but that he's paying people and bussing people in. And then we have this clip right here of people being outraged and saying what they really think about AOC. So these are real Bronx citizens speaking their mind about AOC and the notion that AOC is saying that it's only people that are from out of state that are being bussed in. Let me see.
It's only people from out of state who are what?
So she was saying that the Trump was bussing people in, paying people to show up.
Gotcha. Because there's no way that in such a blue area that such a turnout could occur.
Bronx.
That is such a lie. Like I watch.
Look at these people.
I watch other clips, and literally all I hear is like, "I'm walking here.
Yeah.
I'm walking here."
Dude, it was insane. Like 100,000 people.
Where are you from? The Bronx, actually.
I'm originally from the Bronx and from New York.
I'm from the Bronx.
Right here in the Bronx, New York. This is home, right here.
AOC says if you're not a Democrat, you don't belong here in the Bronx. Right. What do you say?
I disagree with that.
I don't think she should be here in the Bronx. I actually don't know any Democrats living in the Bronx.
Look, AOC, look at the tremendous support for Mr. Donald J. Trump. You need to tell her that she needs to stay out the Bronx because look at all the people around. Everybody's here for Trump. I am a Democrat, and I belong here.
So you get the gist, but I literally haven't encountered a black person in the past year or two that says they're voting for Biden or they're happy about the Biden situation. So I mean, this leads me to wonder, I mean, what are the odds at this point for Trump winning this thing? Because, I mean, we know that the polls are saying it's razor thin, but then also in 2016 said that Hillary had a 90% chance of winning a month before the election. So, I mean, like, how bad do you think this thing could actually get?
The thing is, this like grouping people together by color is just so stupid. Like, I mean, like, imagine, like, oh, all white people think this. Like, we work with a bunch of white and black people and people from other colors like me. Like, we don't agree on anything whatsoever. Like, how is black something that will make you agree on stuff?
Well, the people who say
like,
that
the black vote is so ridiculous and racist. Like, this is straight up racist.
Yeah, the people who call everybody racist are the most racist of them all.
True. Yeah. I mean, people who think that you can lump people into categories in accordance of those things, I would say, are the most racist of them all.
I know.
But sometimes they don't know that they're racist. and it honestly just comes back to ignorance. I think that a lot of these people are just dumb. Sometimes you can't fix stupid,
Were you ever liberal before, Amy?
No, I was actually apolitical before I got into politics. I started noticing politics around the 2020 election when all the COVID stuff started happening.
Yeah.
I started paying attention specifically when I started to see the way policies really were affecting Australia during the lockdown period. And then what I quickly kind of pieced together is anyone on that more liberal progressive side are the ones who were in support of those policies. So I was very much against liberalism, progressivism as soon as I even started to care about politics.
Yeah, there's this great clip of that I saw before where this lady finds this black guy who's saying that he's afraid to go to the MAGA crowd because they're racist, he thinks he'll get beat up, and then goes over there and she asks him like, hey, how do you feel about this guy? He doesn't necessarily feel that he agrees with you guys. What do you think about him? And they're like, oh, we love you, and like embrace him and stuff. And then they both went over to the Democrat side, and she was saying how she was a MAGA person. They're like, F you, bitch, like, get out of here. So showing like how violent and hateful one side is versus like the other side's embracing, even if you don't agree with them.
Yeah, no, I'd say I could definitely see that.
I think there's actually two groups of people, like dumb people and people that are pissed off. And the group of people that are getting pissed off is growing by the numbers. And Donald Trump is, just reeling it in because everyone is pissed off.
Dude, and I almost wonder if, like, you guys ever heard the time traveling theory before about Trump? How his grandfather or uncle or something, he was like a physicist professor when Tesla died, and that he was like consulted by the government to look at the stuff that Tesla had, and like he might have like known how to use it more than
Trump's granddad
or uncle, great uncle, something like that. So
he was charged with looking into Nikola Tesla's research. Is there actually things
that part's rock solid? Yeah. So he was tasked with explaining to the police what they were looking at there, because Tesla had all this crazy technology that nobody knew what to think of.
So Trump's coming back to save the world, basically. Yeah, is what you're insinuating.
He's coming from the future to save the world. Get it right. Here in the chat, we got, do you think the big crowds at Trump rallies make the Dems worried? Brandon, that's a question for you.
I think that makes them terrified. I mean, how could you look at what happened last night as a Democrat and not be terrified? You have liberal pastors that are black advocating for Trump. You have rappers advocating for Trump. He had a guy come up, what was his name? Sleepy Hollow. I never heard him before, but he's a rapper. Comes up with grills with bling on.
I saw that.
Trump's joking around. He's just like, I love those teeth. I want those. Where can I get those?
Right.
And they're like, it's like MAGA. It's like, that's insane. I would never thought I'd see a rapper with bling and grills.
I'm sorry, but Trump with grills, that will break the internet.
Yeah,
that would be
someone
sick.
Out there get Trump grills.
I mean, to be
grills.
I can't wait until someone makes a full blown like political campaign banger though, because you guys saw the way that the Biden campaign tried to leverage the Drake and Kendrick beef and basically dub the lyrics. Yeah, it was so lazy. It was intellectually lazy as well. They could have been so much more creative with that, but they literally just put some captions over a video. I think that there's going to be some real legitimate rappers in this space who support Trump, who support the MAGA movement, who are going to come out with some bangers, and I can't wait to see it. However, you guys are saying that you're like, even for the last couple of years, you haven't heard anyone who said that they would vote, Democrat. But to me, I mean, it seems like it wasn't that long ago when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was in full effect. So to play devil's advocate, I can understand why people would still kind of be lumping, the Black community kind of into that category when Black Lives Matter, which is one of the most, pervasive, I guess, social movements that we've seen in a really long time. Like that was not very long ago, you know? So there's been a huge change that's happened between now and then.
Well, and the amazing part of this is that he never would have, gained the amount of popularity he did right now if he won in 2020, because, a good amount of people were buying the narrative that he was racist, hateful, divisive. But, now they're affected from the standpoint of food being more expensive while the government's telling them that inflation's gone because they're changing the way they measure it. Gas being more expensive. There's wars around the world. Like every crazy, exaggerated bad thing that you could have imagined.
That's what I said today. Like the amount of human suffering that he has created, wars, immigration. Whatever. Like I can dare you to go find one Latino that got here legally that supports Biden. One.
Yeah.
Oh no, they hate it.
Any legal immigrant, honestly.
Go find one Latino that got here legally that supports Biden. Good luck.
Insane. I just got the finalization for my green card extended, so it was supposed to be here by June. No, it's bad.
Oh shit! Yeah. I thought that was good news.
It was meant to be here by June at the latest, and now they're telling me it's going to be towards the end of September is when it's going to come in, because they're just so backed up with all the immigration stuff that they're dealing with right now. Like literally, if I needed to leave the country, I would be better off leaving, flying to Mexico and walking back over to actually be able to come in. Whereas if I leave now before everything's 100% finalized, I can't even come back.
That blows my fucking mind.
It's insane.
The fact that you have somebody who's here paying taxes, having a job legally on the books, and then they get discharged from the country because of all the bureaucratic bullshit. But like you said, if you go to the border and just cross it, you get free health care, you get a place to live, you get a $10,000 per month stipend in some places. Like,
it's insane.
It's obviously controlled demolition attempt of America from the UN. But you got like experience with that too, with people and all that, right?
I know, and paying a lot of money. I'm gonna read the chat a little bit. We have a red voter here. I call him Red because he's so pissed off. He's like pissed off for sure.
I don't blame you, dude. Everything's on the line.
Then Crypto Carpenter. That's a good way to make a living. You're a carpenter and you put your money away in crypto. I like this guy.
Diverse.
They Dems know the gig is up. Not even that. I think people are waking up to the BS everywhere. Then we have a Californian here, Anissa Rose says, I'm in Los Angeles and there's so many here for Trump. They need to cover this. Cinema, simple, Trump 2024. And I can't pronounce this name here. Tabil1138 says, did you see illegals just blatantly driving boats onto the beaches of San Fran? Like they're getting some bold. So
here, let me show you something real quick. So I was wondering last night so there was about probably 100,000 people there, right? It looked like, at least. Then I was wondering, all right, this district, how many people voted Democrat? How many people voted Republican last time? So I pulled up this map, and this is the district that Trump was in last night, this blue spot right here. And look at this. So
wow.
100, it was 67-31, 144,000 people voted for Trump. But the close to that number was there last night alone. So, what does that say about the state of things? If literally almost the amount of people that voted for him, went out of their way, waited in line, walked through the mud and stood out there and were, out of control, excited for him. Yeah, no,
I think that due to a lot of, the political climate, the social movements and everything that was going on at the time, people weren't voting for Biden. They were voting against Trump. I think that's what it was. That was the vast majority. And now we're literally seeing a reversal on that, because the proof is in the pudding. People are seeing, like you said, the reality of the day-to-day situations. They're seeing inflation. They're seeing just how difficult everyday life is to navigate. And, at the end of the day, it's their bed and they have to lay in it. But if there's a chance to make a change, some people are really kind of changing their tune. And so I think that's what we're really seeing right now. And it's a good thing. It's a shame that it needed to get to this point where the country is, at least from my understanding of U.S. history, a really bad place compared to where it's been throughout the last couple of decades. This is one of the worst situations the U.S. has been in. So it's a shame that it had to get to this level before people kind of change their tune. But I think that's what we're seeing now.
Do any of you guys, do you know any Biden voters?
Yes.
You do know
I
one?
do know a few that are
I
hanging
know
around.
some who are voting for Biden just purely because he is the Democratic Party. It's not they're like as long as he's still breathing, as long as he has a fucking pulse, sorry for cursing, but we will be
swear it up.
voting
It's the
for
Late
that
Show.
guy. Okay, good.
I never
Italians
met
like to
one.
curse.
Never. No, matter of fact, I met one person, and I wasn't even mad. It was like an event, meeting a Biden voter in Florida. That's great.
Well, I think the important
I know
thing
a
is
couple.
like how many people you knew that were for Biden before 2020 and now have pivoted all the way to Trump. Like our buddy Adam there, somebody who's reformed from TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Not everybody's like that, but I do know people who are like that, and I think that represents a sample size in society. Even if it's 5, 7, 10% of the population who went from being like never Trump, no way, to like, okay, yeah, Trump's the lesser of two evils at least.
Let's do it.
I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the market saying what it thinks, check out this. So this is AOC's event in her own district. Did you guys see this?
Nah.
So I'm looking out for you all.
Oh.
So there's 2 things.
Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
How long ago was this?
I believe this was last night.
You kidding me?
I saw
Why
somewhere
they're wearing
there-
masks?
I saw somewhere it was a town hall that. Yeah, of course, there's people with masks on. It's an AOC event.
Never seen one.
Never seen what, a mask or a AOC event?
No, someone wearing a mask.
Oh really? It
No.
still happens all the time in Liverpool.
And then, by contrast, this was the Trump event, obviously. So, I don't know. Tell me the scenario in which Trump doesn't have a chance to win New York. Because I know it's always been a blowout, but geez,
He's dominating in all of the swing states. At this point, they're just bored. When we look back at previous, elections, at least from the research that I've done, there were certain states, certain cities where he was like, you know what, it's not even worth the time, money, or resources to go and campaign there.
Yeah.
But now they're winning the swing states by such a landslide by up to 10 points in some places, right, in Nevada, in some of the more recent polls that we've seen. And so they're like, let's just, let's level up from here, right? And they're going into the places that nobody could predict that they would win, but based off what we've seen in the swing states, I think it's very promising.
I
They're
find all of
venturing
this
out.
insane. It's crazy. Maybe I'm too sheltered. A matter of fact, and I respect it, because that's the beauty of this country. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, to their own candidates. We actually have a Biden voter in the chat right now.
Oh,
no way.
no way. Is he trolling?
All right, give us your best case.
He's
voting for Biden. Other choice is unqualified. I wouldn't let him drive my car unqualified. So here, I have a question for you, sir. So let's take a few tasks that are out there. Say one is somebody who's responsible for overseeing the security of your house. Another responsibility is overseeing your financials, like retirement or investments, whatever. And then the other one, driving your kids to school. Would you assign Biden to any of those 3 tasks over Trump?
Oh, wow.
Guys, come on. You guys are both good at debating. Make the case for me. Try your hardest, the two of you, while this guy's thinking. Make the best case possible if you could win
for
money.
Biden?
But for Biden to be better than Trump at any of those 3 tasks that I just listed.
I can't.
I don't know. I'm a freaking psychopath. As long as I don't have to drive. Anyone that wants to drive can drive.
Well, maybe this will change this guy's mind. So here, stall for me while I'm opening this clip up because it is great.
I don't think you can change people's mind.
Why not?
He said no question. He said he would trust Biden to do all of those things.
Good for him.
I mean, you must hate your kids. Damn.
Or he must trust him a lot. I don't trust my own mother with everything.
Why is this thing not letting me open it? This is such a good video.
Good. You can also drop it on the Chrome tab.
Oh, good idea.
All right.
Great.
I'm going to keep on reading while we're dealing with the clips.
Yeah, trust me, this clip is worth it.
Here, T-Bale 1138 says, under Trump, we had no wars. We had 2 active conflicts in Taiwan, China, threat looming. And then Anissa Rose says he can't be serious. Maybe he is. I don't know. I'm all about democracy.
Who, the troll guy?
Yeah. Everyone, freedom of speech. It's a free country.
No, I know.
I don't have to agree with them.
No, I gotcha. Oh, here I have an idea.
Change your tune from earlier, Humberto. What about the irreparable harm.
Well, I'm a different guy in a different podcast, you know.
Okay, the late night show.
Yeah.
We switch up our...
I'm a little more chill in the late night show.
Okay. For anyone who doesn't know what we're referencing, Humberto and Adam got into it a little bit on the Unusual Suspects podcast.
Here we go, I got it.
Very
it was,
funny.
It was great. You guys, if you're up this late and you know, you can go watch it afterwards. Don't leave.
Don't leave
channel.
now.
Yeah.
After.
Here, ready?
All right, I'm so ready.
Primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks and the one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
So 3 times he accidentally said that he cannot win the election. He said, "We cannot get reelected. We cannot win this election. We have to reelect Donald Trump."
Well, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, so he might be onto something there.
No, yeah, I mean, he says the truth by accident all the time. But yeah, and then there's this hilarious AOC clip that I'll find here. Where
this is really funny in the internet, but when you realize he has the nuclear quotes, it's not that funny at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, who do you guys like? As I mean, obviously we know he's being controlled by somebody, but to like, what degree do you think that or who's the person you think that's controlling him mostly? Just the bureaucrats? Or you think it's like the
is everything is being done by what's his name, Pete Buttigieg? Yeah, Pete Buttigieg. He's controlling the whole United States of America.
Oh, get out of here!
Because he's an overachiever. He's raising 2 kids, a husband. And
he went on paternity leave. That makes you lose all respect.
No.
Right up.
That wasn't paternity leave. He was hiding and running things from behind.
He called it paternity leave. So whether it's paternity leave or not, it's bad enough. Here's a funny clip from AOC when she's you know, you're getting desperate when you're talking crap about pasture. Let's see. You guys gotta talk more. When
yeah,
I'm
all right. Let's keep on reading the chat. Nice mask. They're telling the Biden voter.
Mm-hmm.
Then Anissa Rose. It's time for someone to change Joe's diapers. Then Crypto Carpenter, who's a carpenter, runs a pizza place. Says no way. No way. Intelligence community controls everything.
You're ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Hospitals. Oh, and here's Ruben Diaz, who is a notorious homophobe, misogynist, local elected official, father of of the former borough president, but they actually have very different set of politics in terms of how they enacted their policies.
I want to tell AOC.
Oh, here we go. What's up? What's up?
He loves it.
He does love it.
This morning, she intended to become a prophet.
Oh, it's because it was raining this morning, and I said God is good.
Even God doesn't want.
He's a pastor.
She says that's like a
He's a pastor, and he has all these he has this network of churches.
What a godless thing to say.
That he has.
Why is she saying it with such
a false prophet?
He's a pastor.
False prophet.
That invalidates anything he's about to say.
You must be a great. If you're a pastor, and you have one church, you're doing good.
Why?
If you have a network of churches, you're a great pastor. I like that guy.
She said it with the cadence as if she's saying like he has a network of drug rings or something or prostitution rings. Like, what are you doing?
Oh no, he has a network of churches. Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Did you see that full episode? I noticed she was on with Hasan.
Oh yeah, he's the worst. No, I didn't see the full episode.
He is the worst. I mean, he's literally like a known socialist, or at least he advocates for socialism. He gets into a lot of debates on that subject.
And
so
you know,
why is he talking to AOC?
Because they're both socialists.
Yep, interesting.
You know what he hates most? That he's a Nepo baby.
A what?
A nipple baby?
He's a Nepo baby.
A
nipple or apple?
Nepo.
What the hell is Nepo baby?
Nepo?
Yeah, you guys don't know what a Nepo baby is?
No idea.
Jesus Christ, you need to get out of politics Twitter.
Enlighten us.
It means it comes from nepotism.
Okay.
Okay, so a Nepo baby is
nepotism, like when you give favors to
No, when let's say I own this company.
Yeah.
And then Brandon is my son.
You give favors to your family, basically.
Yes. Okay.
So his dad was someone famous, is what you're saying?
His uncle, very famous in this space.
Oh, really?
Who is he?
Yeah, I can't say it because
You
he's two
can't say
people
it's
for
private?
less. Huh?
It's private?
No, it's known, but you guys need to do your own research.
Wait,
Maybe
what?
It's known. You could say it if it's known.
If the chat says it, I will read it.
Okay. Does
All right,
anyone know
if anybody
who
knows who-
Hasan Piker's uncle is? Let us know in the chat, please.
Yeah, I'm only
very
reading
curious.
the chat. Yeah.
I don't think you know.
Oh, he's been a guest here.
On the show. Is it Sam
Are you
Setter?
serious?
Nah,
Am I close?
very close.
I'm surprised that I don't know this.
You should know this. I
Just
thought you
freaking
knew
say
this.
it.
I thought I would know it too.
Richard Wolff or
Give us
whatever?
a clue.
Okay.
Give us a funny clue.
His last name sounds like the people that are being enslaved in China.
Uyghurs. What rhymes with Uyghur? Chat, help us out.
Come on,
What rhymes with Uyghur?
Who's Hasan's supposedly rich uncle who
He runs the left-leaning network.
Oh.
is it Zhank?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, way. It is.
Zhank is Hasan's uncle?
He is.
Is that true? I'm looking that up.
He worked for TYT for a little bit. And look who he is. Manitoba, Winnipeg, TRC 23, First Nation in the house.
Oh, there we go.
This guy is always there. I like this person. See, the chat said it. The chat knows.
I see a Reddit thing
Debating
about
his
it.
uncle.
Yeah.
I've seen do some debates with Destiny before.
What?
Zhank or Hasan?
Or both?
Because okay, yeah, I was gonna say because Hasan and Destiny probably agree on everything.
No, they don't actually. They debate
Really?
all the time.
Really?
Yeah, no. Hasan's way too socialist for Destiny.
Wow.
Destiny actually just announced progressives.
Denounce progressives.
Yeah. He said he no longer identifies with progressive or only liberal, and he thinks that progressives have completely lost the plot.
Well, I also saw him recently criticizing when Connor was on Adam's show the other day talking about our Soros chart.
Yeah.
He was criticizing the notion of that Soros is giving money to these highly organized, highly funded college protesters, where there's like clear paper trail of him giving the money. But like
Right.
why are you defending Soros? Like anybody who's defending Soros, that's a pretty objective thing to be against.
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't watch that full stream. I just saw the thumbnail and saw Connor on the front. I was like,
Wait,
hey,
Connor was on the thumbnail?
He was on
Yes. God, how
He
could
was
I
on
miss
Destiny's
this?
thumbnail.
I was so busy today. This made my life.
The freaking writers are getting to the internet beef. It's crazy.
I know. I was like, guys, stop everything. Connor's on Destiny's channel.
I am so proud that the last intern beef, I crafted the response and it was a body. Like he didn't even reply.
Oh,
Wow.
the Twitter thing
That
for
was that guy's name?
unusuals?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The guy who wasn't funny enough to be in the final cut.
I know. But let's not talk about it because I'm involved. I'm gonna
But yeah, so I mean, I think that they're pretty terrified from this, and I'm honestly more worried about something happening to Trump rather than him not winning the election at this point. Which I hope they're squared away with their security precautions, because we saw the thing earlier this week where they like gave the ability to use deadly force when they raided his house.
There's 69 people online.
Yeah,
nice. Sorry, I am the chat. But what was I gonna say? I don't know. I think the whole JFK thing is very like old school. They won't do it again.
You think? I was this morning watching a little bit of Tucker and PBD interview. The one that just came out on Tucker's channel, and they were talking about that movie Civil War, and how PBD believed that the guy who was ultimately assassinated was meant to be depicted as Trump. And I would not turn a blind eye to how impactful mainstream media can be when it comes to like predictive programming and various things like this. It's obviously not like a clear-cut sign. However, I really wouldn't put it past them at the end of the day. We also saw a lot of predictive programming with that movie, Leave the World Behind. Right. There's a lot of political messaging that we're seeing, and it's intensifying more and more as we're actually coming up on the election. So, I wouldn't put it past them. Let's just say that.
Well, Tate said it too. Tate said the way they do it is first they try to assassinate your character, then they try to assassinate you legally, and then they try to do, when those things both fail, they go for the big swing.
The most accurate predictive programming movie so far is Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, for Biden. Wait, so
I would say it's her, honestly, with all these.
Yeah.
I'd say it's her with all these sex robots coming out lately.
But it's a good thing, maybe. I don't know.
It's not a good thing for women.
I don't think it's a good thing for men either, psychologically, not to derail. But
we can program it to be
derail
nice.
it up. But what do you think the odds are that Biden's a clone, though? Because
clone.
What?
Biden is a clone.
Yeah. What do you think, Amy?
I've never heard
As
this theory.
our rational correspondent.
Is there any credence to this theory?
Here, I'll pull
or
up the
are we
pictures.
just saying words?
I'll pull up the pictures. Stall for me while I pull up the pictures.
Maybe
Tell us why that sounds crazy. Do you think clones exist?
I mean, not in a sense where it's like brought up casually as like a plausible solution for things. I would think of it more in the realm of science fiction, maybe something that we're coming upon, but maybe isn't here exactly just yet. However, I feel like with any real groundbreaking like technology or things that come out mainstream, like for example, like ChatGPT, I'm sure they had that type of technology for years and years, maybe even decades before it was released to mainstream. So it could certainly be the case with things like cloning as well. I saw recently that the thing that you guys talked about on Unusual Suspects with Kelly Humberto about the AI head transplant thing.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's something they're anticipating in like the next 10 years.
I will get myself the nicest body. You know what? I love winning without putting in the effort. Like I treated my body like shit the whole time, smoking, drinking, eating fast food, whatever, and then I'm just gonna come up with the money and get a new body,
and get
brand
a head
new
transplant.
and a head transplant. Like it works out in the end.
Okay,
I would not want to be the first one to do it. Though.
I jump straight in. I'd be the first one in line.
What scares you more between that and Neuralink?
I will get both. I know,
but which one scares you more?
I'm not scared of anything.
I think that, they said that, or Kelly at least said that in like the simulation or what they imagined that when people went through this process, they could for some reason manipulate things as well with their mind digitally.
If they had Neuralink?
No, if they went through the AI head transplant. So
yeah,
it was like a side comment she made. I didn't dig too much deeper into it. So maybe I'm misunderstanding the context of what she said. But yeah, I feel like when you venture into the realm of like transhumanism, all of that stuff, like, I don't think it's really a scale. I think it's all bad. I think it's all.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
dystopian
setting the precedent. I think that's what a lot of this LGBT stuff is. It's like separating the soul from the body. Like your body's not necessarily your body in the sense of being able to like, oh yeah, I'm this gender, I'm that gender, I identify as this or that. So it's like, it's almost like removing your soul from your body or like separating the two, so that it's like a more natural thing for you to just like make your soul this interchangeable thing that could be inserted into anything that you see fit.
Yeah, and
I think it's interesting. We're gonna find out where the soul is. But if I had to pick my body, it will be either a very hot chick because life is easier.
You want to be a hot chick, so you want to get railed up by dudes?
No, I wouldn't.
Are you gay?
You'd be a lesbian
I'm not gay,
chick.
but yeah. Okay, but or a very athletic guy. But so I could win money by playing, I don't know, basketball maybe.
I wonder if the hand-eye coordination would translate, because if I bet you if you got put into LeBron's body, you wouldn't look like a good basketball player, because it's almost muscle memory where you have to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like it's literally the synapses from your brain to the body, and like the way that those are like enforced like day in and day out. I don't think that it would just be like a magical switch of a button.
Well, you guys are ruining my dreams.
Sorry,
but I always want to go to the Olympics. And I figured out that curling will be the easiest way to go to the Olympics.
What's curling?
Curling is a traditional Scottish game, and they play it in Canada too, where you have like an ice rink, but it's like more like an ice bowling lane.
Yeah, it's a very unathletic looking sport.
It's bowling. It's ice bowling.
It is ice bowling.
You pretty much you follow the thing and are shaving away at the ice to make it curve in a certain direction. It's weird.
Oh wait, I have seen this. It looks really weird. It looks really weird and funny, right? I have seen this. Yeah, so I've seen it as memes.
My people in the chat will know, especially Manitoba, Winnipeg, TRC 23, who's Canadian. They will know.
Real quick. So before you read that, Amy, here's an example of Biden potentially being cloned. So look at those eyes, completely different eyes from this picture. The ears are different. Those ones stick out a little bit more than these ones.
So you think he died?
I don't know what happened, but what I do know is that before Kamala and Biden became president and vice president, they both spoke much more clearly and were much more sharp. So I almost wonder if they did some sort of cloning thing and the clones came out like a little retarded or something.
A little retarded.
Because what are the odds that both of them are a shell of them former selves? Because even though Kamala has stupid opinions historically, she was at least like sharp and well spoken. I mean, I remember when Kavanaugh was going through that whole thing, and she would go on these like somewhat eloquent rants, but saying stupid things, but saying it eloquently and sharply and concisely. But now, like, she sounds like she's high all the time.
Yeah.
So what are the odds that Biden sounds like that and Kamala sounds like that? Unless like
they've just been through it the last couple elections.
Like, right off the bat, they were like that, though.
Really interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, going back to your point, if we really want to go far out and crazy with it, you're like who's in control of Biden. I mean, hey, if it's the globalists and things like cloning exists, and I wouldn't put it past them if they just want them to be puppet masters, because at the end of the day, the United States, like the reason I'm more passionate about the US Constitution and the law of the land here than I even am back in Australia, because I think that it's the US that's going to save all these other countries. If the US falls, all these other countries are going to fall to communism. So, if the globalists can get their hand in that and they can control them by way of the Democratic or Progressive Party, then, it's...
Look what I can do. I can put the chats on the screen.
Yeah.
So nice. I went to a very I went to a very reputable source for this because it seems like something you wouldn't believe right away, Amy. So here I'll share with the chat. A lot of you may have heard of this. Have you ever heard of Dolly the sheep before?
Yeah, it died. Sad.
Well, of course it did. It was the first clone. I think it was the first clone. But some point in the 90s, they cloned a sheep, and this is from a Yale website talking about it. And if you go, there's a bunch of stuff on it. 25 years after Dolly the sheep, so that was 2022. So 1997, we've had cloning technology since then. So
wow.
If we're able to clone a sheep 30 years ago now, and we know that the military-industrial complex or the government, whatever, is like 100 years ahead of us with technology. We were able to do this 30 years ago. They made it public, which means they were way ahead of that time. Where are we now?
Yeah,
I think it's more than possible to create.
100%. And like I said, I feel like when groundbreaking technology like that becomes available, it's certainly suppressed for quite a long while. I think until they do implement enough predictive programming to kind of get people kind of used to it before they officially announce it, right? Because then people would go into mania, hysteria, etc. So it could certainly be plausible. I'm not putting it past. I'm just, I'm not one to jump to the look for the logical conclusion.
No, I respect that. We need that on the panel.
But come on.
For the crazy perspective. Let's hear it.
What crazy? I mean, I'm sorry. But if you were to clone someone, wouldn't you start with like someone less important than the president of the United States?
Of course, they've like grabbed homeless people off the street and just like throw them to a vat and clone them, and like they come up with 7 arms and they're like, we fucked out. No, at least it was a homeless guy, not the president.
I'm gonna be on the lookout.
They've cloned 1,000 people before they cloned Biden, potentially, allegedly.
Hey, clone homeless people, I'm on to you. I'm gonna find you.
No, they don't let those people out.
Oh no, they keep the real one, or and throw the clone on the street.
It's in a deep underground military base, like 100 miles under the ground. They're like that.
So they don't let anyone out.
Hell no.
What's the point of having a clone if none of them are let out?
Well, they let if Biden is a clone, they let that one out.
Okay.
After potentially. So, they made this public in the 90s. It was an animal, but they're 100 years ahead of us, as we know. So who's to say that they weren't cloning people since the 50s, and now they have it good enough to where it comes out a little bit dumber, and sometimes it gets messed up, and they just cloned Biden, and so they knew they could control him.
Okay.
Because he's basically like an orb walking around, just like, man.
All right, I give it to you.
You're familiar with like MK Ultra. It could be that too. It could possibly be that, and they're just like in like a state of like hypnosis, like somewhat of a trance, which obviously they wouldn't be as sharp in that instance, which is just as diabolical still. I mean, the cloning's a little more sci-fi, but both of those options are highly fucked up.
All right, Brandon, I will give it to you if he gets reelected and he makes it till the end of his second term. I'd be like, okay, there's clones.
So you think he's more likely to make it that long if he is a clone? Because I would imagine that clones are more unhealthy than the original person.
Well, they could just make a new one, right? They just like
True,
replace
yeah,
it.
right. Because
Yeah.
it seems like they do swap them out sometimes. Because one of them has like the butt chin or the bald section.
Oh, really? You
But
notice
yeah.
the chin changes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look at that. That's here. I'll put it back up for the chat. That is not the same chin.
Let's go, chat.
What do you guys think? You let us know
can
if
you
you
do a
can
poll?
see it.
I can run a poll.
Run a poll. Is Biden a clone? Yes or no?
All right. Let me log into your channel.
All right. So look at this chin, Amy. That's not the same chin as that, is it?
The spike looks similar, like its location. It's to the more right of the chin, I would say. But that one looks deeper. The one on the left, it looks deeper.
I think that's a bad place to do the
What about
comparison.
this one?
Because they were trying to debunk it on that website.
Oh no! What about this one? This is the that's not
a
him.
full-on butt chin. Yeah,
It's sagging. That's not the same person, is it?
Yeah.
And look at that. This
Whoa.
this was the one that everybody's freaking out about. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Oh, there's your sound. Yeah. So how do you explain that?
All right, I'm running the poll.
It's pretty
Yeah, there you go. That was the one that was heard around the world. The bald chin heard around the world. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see it.
But while we're running this poll, I think MK Ultra is the most under-discussed, probably one of the most important things that nobody knows about, because I think that's the way that all these assassinations have happened in the past. Because you know the common theme amongst them, whether it's Sirhan or Lee Harvey Oswald, was that when the gunshot went off and the person died and they were apprehended, they like woke up from like a trance thing. They're like, "Whoa, what was going on?"
Disoriented. Yeah.
All right, and
like,
I made it really easy for the chat. The yes has 2 and the no has 1, so they know which one. They know which one is a clone option.
And then typically speaking, there are always people with a similar like profile in the sense that like they don't have really any family or any ties or anyone to really clean them. So it's almost like they victimize and locate these people who nobody's going to come looking for. Nobody's going to notice that there's been like a distinct change in their behavior. Nobody's going to notice if they go missing. Right. And nobody's going to come in to try to like clean up their mess after they do the act. So that's another really interesting thing as well. And you could probably like one side could say, oh, you know, antisocial people are more inclined to do that type of behavior in the first place. So I could see that point too. But I find it interesting that it's a very similar profile for every single one of these people.
Brandon,
and then, like
I
you
have
said,
a
they
quick
come out
question.
disoriented.
What's up?
All right, let's say a Mexican.
Oh boy,
comes to the United States legally.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Legally, he does all his paperwork and whatever.
Okay.
And he gets cloned. Would that be illegal immigration?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the jury's still out.
Well,
or would the clone be American?
Clones of the Wild West right now. So
that's kind of like one of those philosophy questions where there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. It's more about how you interpret it. Like you ever see those questions where if you were in control of a train and it was heading straight towards a group of people and you could like turn the thing on the tracks and it could only kill one person instead of 10 people, would you do it? And like a lot of people say yes, but then you say you're choosing to kill somebody rather than just like letting nature take its course by not touching the thing. So it's like you're more guilty of killing somebody if you steered into the one person than just like not touching it and letting it go into the 30 people. So you know that's a mind fuck in its own right.
I would shout like, "Are you vegan?" And then I will make my decision. Make it a yes, I know. Just one. I'm sorry, other people, if you're not vegan, but that's my decision. So they're the worst people.
Vegans?
Yeah. Oh my god, they're the
Imagine
worst.
if they all try to virtue signal and they're like, all like, yeah. And Murder's like, kill them all.
But no, I'm not planning to kill any vegans. But they
just so we're clear,
just to clarify, guys,
they're so annoying. It's unbelievable. Vegetarians are okay, but vegans are not.
What's the difference between vegetarians and vegans?
No dairy.
No, vegans is a political thing, and vegetarian. There's vegetarians that do no dairy as well.
No, that's not true. I mean, well, kind of. So there's people who are 100% plant-based who they don't consume any dairy. Vegan technically means yes, it's a political thing, but it also means like you don't wear any leather. Like literally anything in your house, your clothing, your food that could be related to any animal can like cruelty or testing or anything. Eliminate all of that.
This is going to turn into a sauce, but that's such a woman thing to do.
Don't turn into sauce.
Because I'm sorry, but I said it's a political thing, and you go like, yes, but you made it sound like a no.
Well, I mean,
what are you gonna say about that?
What do you say about that?
I mean, I need to look into the roots of veganism to determine if that's the case. I think that it could have possibly spawned out of like animal rights movements and things like that, and people who don't necessarily
like
have their priorities aligned.
The founders of veganism, like all leftists, is actually a political thing.
You know where vegans have it wrong though?
What?
So what's the first thing they teach you in middle school science class? You got plant cells, animal cells, almost indistinguishable. So there's other stuff too where, you know, if you listen to it a certain way, we are right. The screen just went blank.
That is not good.
Okay. So there's all these things where you could detect that plants communicate with each other. As weird sounds, they have feelings, and you know there's even studies where you could take two identical plants, put them in different rooms. One of them you could talk shit to it all day, be negative towards it. The other one you could be warm and kind to it. And the one that you're nice to will grow and flourish. The one that you're mean to and say negative things to will end up dying. So.
Well, to be
plant
fair,
and animal, pretty indistinguishable aside from the fact that one makes noises, has a face. You could kind of interact with it in a very noticeable way. The other one, you don't hear anything from it, but it's living in the same way. So if the whole goal of being a vegan is to not eat or kill living things, they're failing at that because they're still eating and killing living things.
Well, there was also a study done by a doctor called Dr. Emoto where they literally did the exact same thing with water. So I don't think it comes down to like animals, living things, plants, anything like that. I think it's literally just our cells are, our molecules, our particles are for whatever reason kind of malleable, and this kind of comes back to like quantum theory and like some certain things like that. But however, Dr. Emoto, what he did was he froze water. He created ice, and to one of them he stuck messages of like love, peace, all these, you know, positive words, and there were beautiful crystals that were formed in the ice versus, you know, there were ones that were like, I hate you, you're disgusting. These are the messages left on the other water that turned to ice, and it was like ugly. It was like shards of ice.
And one melted faster too, right? One melted faster too, right? Just based on the words they wrote on the outside.
I don't remember that exactly, but it wouldn't surprise me. But I do know there was a distinct difference in like the patterns of the formation. So I don't know if it's as much about like living things as it is like even just like our cells, molecules, everything that's making up everything is alive to some degree. And this study kind of showed that those things are malleable too.
This is such an enriching conversation. I'm gonna go home and apologize to my water filter and talk to my snake plant. It's gonna be magical.
Well, dude, at the end of the day, everything that lives, you know, it's a constant state. It's a constant state of killing other things to live. You know, like you know where there's no vegans is fucking sub-Saharan Africa. You try to explain what a vegan is to people who live in those villages and shit. They would be like trying to explain the trans thing.
So what are you telling me, Brandon? You have access to food and you don't eat it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible.
What's a soy boy?
Matt Walsh, what is a woman when they go to the tribes and they try to explain it to them?
Oh, they laugh their ass off.
They're like kids. They're like,
dude,
what?
Africans from Africa, they're the most base people.
Yep.
They're amazing. My dad's best friend is African.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about anything. Nothing. He's from the Congo. He doesn't give a shit. I love that guy.
Yeah, because you don't have time to worry about bullshit when you have to go out and kill a living animal that could kill you to survive every day, or to like build shit and make fires every day. You know, we have like an abundance of ease on our hands, and that's why people have the time to complain and be whiny about stupid things like this, because there's like a lack of struggle, which, you know, not an original concept. But speaking of struggle, another thing that happened in the news today that caught my attention that could be a big thing going forward is that Putin is asking for a ceasefire now. And I don't imagine the military industrial complex is very happy about that. So,
or Congress.
Yeah, right. They just sent $100 billion to Ukraine, which, I mean, I'm sure 40% of it's going to be siphoned off by the Ukraine government, and a lot of it's going to be wasted. But regardless, what do you think the odds are of the West agreeing to a ceasefire?
They stopped one already, so it's probably like 9%, 5%. Like the machinery is already running. They're already printing the paper. They're already moving the weapons. They're already having the peace deals. They're already having the songs to keep everyone together. The TikTok trend is on. The Instagram hashtag is working. So there's no way to stopping this, boys.
Yeah. So I mean, I know me and Humberto are both ruthless men who would just say, all right, take this slice of Ukraine, whatever, stop. Let's be logical about this. No hard feelings. We're not going to feel bad for people. We're going to do what's logical here. Amy, even though you're pretty hardcore and based, you still are a woman and probably have a little bit more empathy than me and Humberto. What do you think about the situation? Would you agree to a ceasefire if it meant giving up a piece of Ukraine or a large portion of Ukraine in return for stopping the fight?
If it meant giving up a piece of Ukraine?
Yeah, like the part that they've conquered already.
So Russia wants the ceasefire, but they're saying in order to do that, Ukraine needs to give up a piece of their...
Not that simple. They said they were open to a ceasefire.
Well, yeah, Ukraine should do it, dude. I mean, from my understanding, at least, they're the way inferior army. Way inferior when it comes to like resources, military, government, a bunch of things. I mean, yeah, that's kind of seems like this is probably a war that I'm really not educated at
and you shouldn't be. And
right, and that's why I asked you, because I want just like an organic, like far away opinion.
Yeah, I mean, just do what's smart, dude. Sometimes you could be right, or you could be happy, or you could be right, or you could be alive. Like, dude, choose to live, and fucking. Close the chapter on this book. Move on.
You know how many people have died in this from Ukraine alone? Almost 500,000 people. They made a grave. Satellite imagery showed they have a grave of 2 million empty spaces right now that could be filled up. So they're potentially anticipating that many people dying. And right now they're forced recruiting old people, forced recruiting women, and
women as well. Women are being drafted.
And you know what that means? That means their entire fighting male population has been decimated. But nobody's talking about it because we don't. The West.
Why? Because everyone's really distracted with Israel and
they just don't want the fighting to stop because the military-industrial complex is the biggest business in the world. It's like $900 billion a year, and all that money that Congress sends over to Ukraine goes right back to the U.S. Defense contractors.
So they're borrowing money for themselves. It's disgusting. I am against killing. I'm against war, and the way that you framed it, Brandon, you made it. And this is not you. This is like most Western thinking.
Let's hear it.
That is a kind of our deal. Like I think we shouldn't even know about it and let them deal with it. Because like I think my borders, your borders, I'm against intervening at all. So I don't think anyone should feel guilty. And at the same time, I don't know if to give them they should sign a ceasefire or they shouldn't because it's not my deal. I'm not Ukrainian. I'm not Russian. And they should deal with their own stuff.
Well, the thing about it in the first place, though, is that it wouldn't have happened if we weren't encroaching on NATO every year for the past 20, 30 years and putting missiles closer and closer and closer to Russia. Like we literally did the equivalent of Russia putting missiles
in
Mexico.
Though we promised against it.
Yeah. Look here, I'm going to pull up this crazy map that shows this better than anything. Map of NATO. So this shows everything like perfectly clearly.
But I don't know what for example Amy has to do with all of this because she's an innocent outsider. Yeah, she's an innocent woman that pays her taxes, goes to work, wakes up in the morning, does her stuff. And some of her taxes are going to this. So I don't understand.
That's what it has to do with her.
What?
Yeah, no, exactly. 100. And for like that side of things, I'm very much against, when it comes to foreign aid. We have so many issues that we need to be focusing on here in the States. Like even just the level of debt that the United States has racked up, and yet they're dishing out so much more money for wars that we have nothing to do with. That
or know about.
Most of the average everyday American doesn't even know that their money's going towards this, let alone what that money's for.
So check out this map. This map shows that we've been screaming for begging for this war for the past 50, 70 years. So dark blue shows NATO countries in the 1940s.
The OGs, original NATO.
Boom, darker or less dark blue, 1950s, gets a little bit closer. 99, a little bit closer. 2000s, a little bit closer. And keep in mind, this gray right here, this is Russia, obviously, and then the yellow is Ukraine. So closer as years goes by. And then we started trying to put fucking missiles in Ukraine a couple of years ago. And then that's when Russia was like, all right, nope, boom, all right, we're going in. You're not going to put missiles in the country that borders us. That's retarded. And that's what all this is about.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So were we begging for this or what?
You mean, was it conspired?
I ask that rhetorically, but you know, to somebody like, and like that's why I'm asking you a lot about it, because I like asking somebody who doesn't have like predetermined opinions on, just like based off like not even thinking about this prior. The fact that we've been encroaching on Russia, like imagine if Russia was creeping up through South America, making deals with countries, starting with Chile, starting Argentina, working their way up through Colombia and Mexico.
It's like pricking the bear.
Yeah,
like,
putting missiles in each spot. Like, of course they're going to get pissed off. And
what do you expect to happen at the end? This is one of the most formidable countries. Like, even people who don't really understand politics like that, they know you don't fuck with the Russians, right?
No, you don't.
And like, that's, you don't even need to know politics to be very, very aware of that fact.
Crazy people.
If we're poking the bear like that, then yeah, what do you expect is going to happen?
Yeah. But the defense contractors are happy about it. So I unfortunately don't think that the ceasefire is going to happen. But I do think if Trump gets in, it'll definitely end quickly, because the easiest way to hurt Russia, which he's been saying a lot, is to make the price of oil cheaper. And the way to make the price of oil cheaper is obviously to allow fracking, enable the pipeline that was supposed to happen that Biden canceled, get out of the Paris Climate Agreement, which, you know, it sucks that we even have to depend on oil because our stupid politicians won't embrace nuclear energy or any of the forbidden technology that they have murdered dozens of people for when they created it. That's much more efficient than anything we use right now. But with all that aside, I like if the price of oil went down to $40 a barrel, which is at like 80 right now, Russia's GDP would get cut in half and they wouldn't be able to afford this war. So that in itself, the fact that the price of oil will go down based on future expectations if Trump gets in, that I think that'll hurt Russia enough on its own. But
why is it our problem?
Well, it's our problem because, well, I mean, I don't even think it's our problem. I think that we caused the thing.
Yeah, we don't want to make, here's the thing. Why would we want an enemy out of Russia? And that's the thing. Like, people always said that Trump always knew what I just said, you don't fuck with Russia. And he would do everything he possibly could to ensure that, number one, this war didn't start. And then number two, the US wasn't involved with it. But it seems like under the presidency of Joe Biden, what you're saying is it was almost instigated in a way.
Yeah, and I mean, even before him too, because, you know, it wasn't just him that was doing that. It was a lot of presidents before him. And is it a coincidence that Trump's the only president in a 20-year stretch where Russia didn't invade another country? I think it was Crimea was invaded by Russia in 2014, I think, and then was it Jordan or Georgia or something? Georgia got invaded during Bush's presidency, but there was nothing invaded during Trump's presidency. So is that a coincidence that the only non-establishment guy didn't have a country get overtaken by Russia during his presidency?
Yeah.
But they spend so much time saying like, oh, he's Putin's puppet. Well, he's the only one where Putin didn't invade another country under the past 20 years. So what sense does that make to call him Putin's puppet?
You know how to solve this? And I'm going to push this in your administration.
Yes.
We've been having a cable type of government where you go buy and you get all the channels.
Right.
And you can pay a little bit more. You can pay a little bit more to get more channels.
Okay.
But if you're not interested in CNN or whatever, you can pay a little bit less to not get that. I think we should move government into a streaming type of thing. So you only pay for what you want. Like,
it's like taxes, only pay for what you want.
Taxes, you can opt out. Okay, health amount, welfare amount, I don't know, wars amount. And then they should have the discounts in your taxes and see how far they can keep on making wars.
Yeah.
Or is it too libertarian?
No, I mean, I respect that. And one thing that enrages me more than almost anything is the fact that these defense contractors charge double, triple, quadruple the price of what it costs to build these things to our Congress. Our Congress is like, oh, okay, here you go.
It's so funny. Like when people finish their service in the military, they have a long sheet of things. They gave it to them, like a belt or like a Sharpie. They have a long list.
Yeah.
And a Sharpie can cost like $90.
Yeah.
Because it's a government Sharpie.
Right. Because they have to spend their budget.
Yeah, because they overcharge them for them and they end up paying thousands of dollars to get out. But it's unbelievable. These people are paying too much money for everything. It's too expensive. Like that's why I like Javier Milei. Because he's getting rid of the fat.
Oh, I fucking love him.
You know?
Yeah.
He's a G.
Use the cheaper missiles, people, not the expensive ones.
It's such like an inspirational story as well. You know, like me being an Australian, seeing the direction Australia is headed in, which is to full blown commuland. You know, seeing something like, you know, what Milei did to restore that country, that even if things go fully balls to the walls crazy in Australia, then there is a redemption arc possible.
Guys, I need to show
that
you
could
what
happen in Australia. 100%.
Yeah,
we just need one charismatic person to step up and do it.
Okay, this was this week. Milei was launching his book.
He's so cool
at Luna Park. So he did the whole talk, launched his book. 200,000 people showed up. It was filled to the brim, and he performed with his band.
What did he sing?
Yeah, he sang.
Get out of here!
No, dude, he's the coolest
He
president.
sings?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna show you the video.
He's wearing a leather jacket.
Wait. Okay, I just want to show you another video.
How do you beat that?
Of him getting out of the crowd is insane. No, wait.
Come on, get together.
Get it together. Let me.
Imagine being a Secret Service. Have you seen some of the stuff he's done? Like he goes on the coach flights, he runs into crowds. Like
Milei?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. He's wild like
a
that.
dog on a
He doesn't
leash.
care.
Yeah, like they can't
All right.
corral him.
This is him because doing the whole Roxas thing wasn't good enough. He wanted to get out of the place. 200,000 people like out of the place through the crowd.
How? Oh my god.
Wow.
You know what's amazing about him is the fact that like the policies he's doing, they're painful policies. It's like what would be a good analogy? Like taking disgusting medicine that you know is going to save your life, like giving that to your kid, and the kid being like thankful for it, being like, you know, trusting and liking you enough to be thankful for it. That's like he's putting the people in a temporarily worse financial situation than they were before, but they understand it and trust him enough to where they still love him for putting them through financial pain that's temporary but necessary to
get to where they need to be. Yeah, exactly. Taking a couple steps forward to go back to go 10 steps forward.
Because people normally aren't that
this was
long-term
this was the stadium.
But they know they've been living in survival mode for so long, probably, that it's they realize that they're going to be like that forever unless they're able to have a little bit more foresight.
You know, right? The difference. I was so glad to see his campaign. Like I met him before he was he went to Congress, and I met him before he was a congressman and before he was president.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first time in the history of politics, and I've been around for a while, that I see someone treating voters like adults.
Really?
Oh, 100%. He run on this will suck.
Yeah, exactly.
He said it. He said it on the campaign. Like, this is gonna suck big time.
Economic shock therapy, he said.
Yeah, he was like, you're not gonna like it, you're gonna hate it, and this is not gonna be done in my presidency or maybe in 15 years or 30 years. But being treated like an adult, I like that.
Yeah, and what's
telling people the truth. Yeah,
exactly. That's one of the things that a lot of people say about Trump is that, like, hey, at least he says it like it is. He doesn't try to be deceptive with his words or tell you what you want to hear or BS you, because it's so easy to detect BS in a lot of these people, even though they make it sound good, and the brainwashed people will still buy it. The majority of people can see through it, and they appreciate somebody who tells them the difficult truth to their face.
Exactly. What's the saying? Like, slap me with the truth instead of kiss me with a lie. 100%.
Or slap my butt and call me Sally. That's another one.
That's that one too.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of don't knock it till you try it, or slapping you on the butt and calling you Sally. This male masculinity index, Amy. How's that for a segue? What do we got?
Yeah. So, guys, we're probably going to have to do a follow-up on this so we can do more research, because I literally just found out about this today. But there is a group. Could you tell me the name of the group again, Brendan? Do you have it there? The Diverting Hate.
Oop.
It's called the Diverting Hate group.
This is the tab you want right now?
Go into the website for the Diverting Hate group. So essentially, this is a group that exists specifically to focus on people who are in the online space. I don't know if it's specifically YouTube or just, public figures in general, and are essentially targeting people who they perceive as male supremacists. And the whole goal, the whole existence of the organization is predicated on trying to silence these types of creators, whether that be through demonetization, through delegitimizing their message, whatever it is. So yeah, as we can see here, this is their website, Tech Forward Change for a Hate-Free Tomorrow. How positive. So here's what it says. What if we could use positive messaging to transform the world we live in? Social media platforms that rely on explosive narratives for engagement are amplifying the normalization of violence.
Are they now?
Can I tell you guys how many videos I've had taken down off of TikTok? I don't even try to post on TikTok anymore, because I will literally just post a regular debate where I think I'm being nice. Like, I could be way more mean, way more savage. I'm just calmly breaking things down. It is how it is. And those posts have been taken down for inciting violence. So, take this with a grain of salt when they say that these explosive narratives are amplifying the normalization of violence. Okay, so diverting hate disrupts these destructive narratives and paves the way for resilience and community building through innovative pathways with empathy and credible messengers, right? They're ran by the McCain Institute. Have you ever heard of them, Brendan? I don't know. This project is funded by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Center for Prevention Programs and Partnerships.
Of course.
Wait, can you go back to that statement? I'm going to translate it from leftist to normal language.
Oh, please do. Please. Yes.
What if we could use positive messaging to silence everyone we don't agree with? Okay. Social media platforms are telling the truth and amplifying people doubting their government and their way of life. Silencing everyone we don't agree with, and their truthful narratives paves the way for us doing whatever we want. So that's what it really says.
You know what I wish was right here is that picture of the guy with the burning buildings behind him with the CNN headline that says mostly peaceful protests.
My gosh, that would be so good.
But this room can be considered hateful. And we literally
raising our voices.
Yeah, we literally advocated for no more killing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. When I saw the list, so I originally saw this concept on an Aber and Preach video, and then on an MTR video. I actually really enjoy MTR mediocre tutorials.
Wait, are Aber and Preach on the list?
Yeah, let's pull up the list. We have a picture of the list.
I love those guys. They're the best. They're so funny.
True?
Aber and Preach.
Yeah. Oh no, they weren't on the list. They did a video about it. But MTR was on the list. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Aber and Preach got on there too, because a lot of their stuff has been conflated with the whole kind of red pill space, just because they've done commentary on certain things.
But they're super nice and fair.
They debate red pill people.
Yeah, so you guys are going to see some names you probably recognize. So just Pearly Things, Fresh and Fit, The Rational Male, which is like Rollo Tomasi.
Rich Cooper.
He's so nice.
There's a bunch that I know here. I know Arico TV.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, and so basically what they're saying is these are the highest ranking male supremacist channels. And for this particular project, they said in the video that they were funded $600,000 to try to demonetize, silence, and take down the channels that rank this high on the chart. And it's pretty interesting when you actually look at the metrics here, because some of them, the number one there, Sandman, has I think the lowest subscriber count on the aside from Aaron Clary. So I wonder if it's AI based. I think it probably is, since the Fresh and Fit clips is on the list and Fresh and Fit isn't on the list. I'd say it's probably something that's more AI.
Yeah, that's such a shit list.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, do your job. If you're giving government money to silence people, come on, at least do the work.
Hey, it's only $600K. Apparently the Biden campaign is paying influencers up to $50,000 just for one ad, so it's not that much money for them in the grand scheme of things. Maybe they need a little more funding, but this is insane. And this is the first one that we've seen actually come out where there's some validity to it. We can trace it back to this group, Diverting Hate. We can see that it's a real case study. However, you know, what I was telling you guys before we started filming is it would not surprise me if this has been in the works for a very long time. If this is, you know, 5, 10, 15 iterations deep, you know, you look at someone like Andrew Tate, he for sure would have ranked number 1 on this chart before he got, you know, deplatformed. And the fact that he did get deplatformed from every single platform on exactly the same day, I mean, to me, that speaks volumes that there are people out there actively trying to suppress and silence people. And no, it wasn't for sex trafficking, okay? And so, yeah, it's crazy that this is the state of the world that we're living in. When I looked at this list, I was so ready to see Source Cast there. I was so ready to see maybe even PBD Podcast or, you know, any of the channels that we run here where we're based and we speak the truth. Because, you know, some of these people here, I'd say they go maybe a little too far. They're a little too red pill, maybe a little too black pill for some of the takes that I have. But there's a lot of truth embedded in some of the stuff I teach too.
You know what? Good. I mean, first of all, just people here. It's creepy that they care so much. Second of all, I'm over the whole red pill thing. Like, there's so many ways you can tell a guy to be manly and women to not be loose.
Here's the thing, though. So, I mean, it's interesting as hell that it's precisely focused on the channels that tell men to be more masculine and tell you know, tell them not to let women give them shit and to make them betas and whatnot. And I agree, this whole thing got really oversaturated, but it was extremely needed when it happened because we reached like peak beta guy who felt helpless, who was feeling sorry for himself, and the, you know, the majority of the messages on these channels is to, like, you know, hey, get your shit together, you know, worry about optimizing yourself rather than, you know, codifying some broad who's telling you who to be. Like, don't ever listen to shit like that. But
I agree.
It's not even targeting political stuff. So it's almost like they're more afraid of rebellious young men that are, instead of you know, their political opposition, or even they let terrorists on these websites. They don't even focus on them, but they're worried about young rebellious men. And you know, like the thing you said with Tate, like they're you could almost say they're more terrified of Tate than they are of Trump or Elon Musk because of what they did with them.
100%. I would completely agree. At the end of the day, the destruction of the family unit is the most powerful weapon that they yield. And if we don't have strong men and we don't have strong leaders, then that goal is so much easier for them to be able to fulfill. So it makes perfect sense why they're focused on this specific segment.
Don't think about how much of a coordinated attack there's been on like men being able to, you know, be like masculine and like assert themselves and whatnot, in the sense of like how they get absolutely pummeled if they go through a divorce. You know, you put all these things where like believe all women, so guys are afraid to even like approach girls now or being bold and take like action that way. So you're really at him today, dude. That was like on the level of him doing his throat spray on the podcast. and it's not even like PBD podcast where we have like individual cameras. Like you just like whipped it out and did it in front of everybody.
It's okay.
And you did it into the mic too.
Wait until the camera switches at least. We can't switch cameras here, guys.
Like he thought he was being discreet. He's like,
Are you offended, chat? It's okay. It's just some good old fashioned nicotine.
Camera switch. Look, I can switch outside of the camera. I can be back in the camera. But hey, this red pill thing is over. I'm done.
It was a good thing, though. It was good.
Thing.
It was needed.
I like it. I still like it. You know what? I still like red pill.
I'm so bored of it.
Too many people got in on it.
Too many people got out of it. Everything that could be said about it is already said, and it's on YouTube. Go find it. Let's not make more of that.
I guess.
And now let's start making fishing channels. Let's start making
fishing channels.
No,
fucking
like,
woodworking channels.
Woodworking, yeah.
Let's do some fucking woodworking.
So, no, I'm being honest about this. Okay. Everyone realize you're a dude. This is what dude do. Okay.
What dude do?
Yeah, that's what dude do. Okay. Second part, we need to go to Red Pill 2.0. That now that you know you're a guy, do something fucking useful with your life.
Well,
learn a skill.
That's the thing.
Know.
That's the fatal.
Don't do cycling because the cycling's I hate cycling.
Did you say recycling?
No recycling and no cycling.
Both of those.
Cycling and recycling are the two worst things.
Like
any sports that you need to wear like tight clothes to be good at, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That's why John Kerry does it.
He ain't shit.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah. So I mean, and the fatal flaw of the model of these channels, though, is the fact that they exist and have subscribers watching them every day, and like oh yeah, like fuck them hoes, like that. They're failing at what they're being told to do every day. They're sitting there in this chat, like being an echo chamber. They're not out there conquering shit like they're being told to be. So
I know
that's the flaw in the model of this. Like these things should be getting smaller rather than bigger if these guys are actually listening and executing on it. Because there was definitely a time like 5 years ago where like I had some things go wrong and like needed like a pep talk from like a male role model type and would like listen to Tate and stuff like that, and it got me fired up. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go crush it. And now I'm in a better spot because I it was like all of maybe 2 months that I was listening to this shit, and then like I got myself to where I wanted to be, and like I had no need for it anymore. So why is it that these things are getting bigger rather than smaller? Like
kind of like therapy, right? It's like you can't actually be too good at therapy because then they lose you as a client.
That's what it is. And when you graduate from the red pill, you go see Patrick Bet-Davy that will tell you how to actually make the money. He will tell you how to actually read the news. He will tell you how to actually be paranoid to a certain extent. Like you graduate from the red pill and you come to the big boys club where we talk about economy, where we talk about Bitcoin, where we talk about family making, where we talk about the real stuff. BlackRock.
You think bitches are scary? Let's talk about BlackRock and the WEF and globalists.
That shit's way scarier. But to be fair, what I will say is at least MTR, I wouldn't call him red pill. I don't think that he would call himself. I'd say like all of these creators are for sure red pill, probably adjacent. However, MTR, he gives very real, very logical advice to men in multiple different categories, and also his commentary is just really entertaining. It's not even talking about women a lot of the time, it's other things as well. I think that this is not really an accurate reflection of what is red pill and what is not, because again, I think they use AI. The fact they have Fresh and Fit clips in there and not Fresh and Fit's main channel is a little bit suspicious.
I don't know, like I never put on a red pill channel and go like, oh wow, I didn't think about that way. Never
really
happened.
Like for me, I did, because I always like intuitively felt like I didn't like hers and I didn't understand girls who were hoish, and I always like intuitively didn't like it. And then when I actually got into the red pill space and I started to understand the perspective from a man, I started to understand evolutionary psychology, biology, pair bonding, sexual market value, all these things. For me, it helped me a lot to kind of put the pieces together from understanding a male's perspective.
But talking about it is so better.
But here's the thing, though. So, like, there is times in a dude's life, definitely, where
I kicked
you guys with the noise.
I know. Ruining your show.
No, it's okay. We like the shenanigans here. But here's the thing, though. Like, there definitely is a thing where guys will be at rock bottom and like have some bad breaks happen their way. Don't have a like older brother, or don't have like a strong father figure or something. They need like a community or a mastermind group to kind of get pumped up. And you shouldn't get yourself stuck in that, though. You should get in it, get your head right, and then have everything you need to get out there and conquer shit. But
I agree.
All right,
small amount of dudes. So we're transitioning.
No. So nobody has to watch a red pill channel ever again. I'm gonna summarize the whole thing.
Let's hear it.
Don't be weak. Get a job. Get a girlfriend. If she's been with too many guys, don't date her. And get your money right, and you're done. And just be a guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 3 things. It's like work out, make money, and don't be afraid to approach women.
That's it.
And don't date hoes.
And don't date hoes. That's those 4 pieces of advice.
Recreational use only for hoes.
We'll save you. We'll
course over.
And that's the thing, because it's those 4 things. Don't date hoes. Work out. Make money. And don't bitch about it. That's what it is.
Don't be a bitch. Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. That's it.
Boom.
Play the sip. This is a red pill channel now.
No, it's not.
It is a red pill channel because we summarize everything that red pill channels always say. But I commend them.
We did more damage to it than this whole website did by summarizing in 4 points. So that's what you could do with just a good point rather than $600,000 with whoever this NGO or whatever.
I'm going to look into this more though. I'm very fascinated. I want to understand more about what this group has done, other examples. I want to know like where this money specifically went, how they go about getting people I just think it's so fascinating. I hope that we never see any valuetainment channels on this list.
This will make a really good video. I know that because I know people on this list. I met people on this list. So
I know people on this list.
I know you know people on this list. So I think you can call some of the people on this list and make a really good video.
Oh, that's actually a a great idea.
I always do great ideas.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Supreme Leader.
I know you can make the best video on this thing because I don't think anyone else knows this many people on this list.
You're actually so right. Oh my god.
Make a note of that.
Okay, guys, stay
she's
tuned.
the person behind the red pill. Like, I know she looks innocent, but everything, all these channels are orchestrated by her. That's what it is.
Hey, there's the theories about me. Because people like Amy's job is just going on podcasts professionally. It's like, dude, it's not my fault.
You know, that's
people
my dream
invite
job.
me on their shit. Okay,
That is my dream job, being a podcast guest.
Perpetually just being a podcast guest. Yeah,
not a host.
I've been invited on all of these or a lot of these many a times. I do know the people. I think that could be a banger episode. That's
Big
a great
time.
idea, Humberto. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so closing
Writing
thoughts.
that to myself.
Anything that there's like you said, like, you know how like certain nerves in your body, like you'll react to them. It's like certain things with government or deep state, whatever, censorship. You get too close to it. There's like almost like a nerve pressure reaction to it, and that's kind of what this thing got to. Which that's what the most interesting part about it to me. You know, like I agree with everything that we just said, but the fact that there's a concerted
Hopefully not.
effort.
It's the horrible things that I don't even mean.
Yeah, not everything, but broad strokes. But the fact that there's a concerted effort to shut it down, just like certain things that are said on other platforms about the economy or politics, you know, that's something to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I think we're wrapping up here. Before we go,
I'm having fun.
You're having fun?
I'm having fun. I don't want to.
I'm getting tired.
You're getting tired.
I am getting tired.
Or
we
do you have
started
somewhere
late.
to be?
You know what I
This
can't
is fun accompanying you guys, though. I
know,
really,
it's fun.
I like this.
You know
I
what
think we have a nice little dynamic going here.
100%. I can't wait for the day that we start at 8 o'clock when and actually promote the thing before we get
And we
started.
could go to this time and do a solid 3-hour banger podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we
nice
had
laughing effects.
we had about 50 live this whole time, which is awesome. Love you guys, and
Thank you.
I know this is the core 40, core 50. You guys are the day one people, and you know, someday in a couple months from now, I assume this is gonna be 1,000-person live podcast easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like just once we start, like we didn't tell a single person in the world that we're doing a podcast. Like any of the days that we've done a podcast the past 2 weeks. So
And how good does this set look, guys?
oh,
I know.
You guys want to know who?
Yeah, just say it.
You guys want to know who came up with this set? You want to know?
who?
Want to know?
This guy right here. But guess who saw it and stole it? Like I stole it. I was
This
like,
guy,
it's
right?
mine.
As soon as he saw it, he was like, "I'm stealing this for our podcast."
I stole everything. I'm just really quick at.
Hey, great
Theory.
artists
Graphic
steal.
design and
That's the
interior
saying.
design.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I had so much fun with you guys. I would love to join y'all whenever.
And give yourself a shout out before we go. Where can people find you?
Sure, you guys can find me on my channel, Amy Dangerfield. My last long form video I posted was actually with Brendan.
Sick video.
You know, we went super in depth into the World Economic Forum and some of the agendas that they have that are taking place in Australia with a cashless society. And we have part 2 that's coming out very soon as well. Also, guys, I just hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Congrats.
And so next week, we'll be in this exact same set. And these two are going to accompany me on my channel.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the first ever live stream on my channel to celebrate. So a 50,000 live stream.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could find all of us on Connect. You're on Connect, right?
I am on Connect,
Yeah,
yes.
so if you have any questions based off the hard-hitting
Wait,
stuff
I
that we
didn't
said
get my-
or shenanigans that we participated in, what?
I don't get a plug where they can find me.
What do
Who's
you
going
got?
to go to you next?
All right.
I was just plugging your Connect. What else you want?
You can find me sleeping under a bench anywhere near Florida, close to Flint Station, Florida.
Providing value as always.
So yeah, so if you see me sleeping, don't wake me up. That's what it is.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Like I said, guys, love you all, and we will see you next Wednesday. God bless.